Seats. Our program will begin in 5 minutes. Thank you.
It's locked. Whoa! That's quite quick. It's locked. Whoa! That's quite quick. It's locked. Whoa! That's quite quick.
here for our Open Ears event here in Stockholm. And for us, Open Ears is an opportunity for us to interact with our users. So this event is actually about collecting feedback regarding customer service and product. So we started today with playing laser tag. Then we came to the venue and we started discussing customer service issues and possible solutions, after which we had people present their solutions.
It felt really, really amazing then when I saw that mail that's saying that I was selected as one of the few people, because I never tried anything like this or even had any dreams that I would been even considered. So it was crazy. I had a lot of good feelings about this.
Oneplus is very new for me. I've only known it for 3 months, but I think it's very good. I'm going from iPhone to Oneplus now, and I stay there.
The day has been tremendously, very, very wonderful. I mean, it's awesome. I got to meet new people, interacted with Oneplus employees.
I think everyone here really likes our brand. They want to support us and they genuinely want to see us improve. And hopefully for them, it feels like the company is also listening to them and they're building the company together with us, hand in hand.
I learned that Oneplus is a lot more than just a company. They really do care, because a lot of companies say they care, but Oneplus, they showed us today. They showed us they care.
Introducing the OnePlus 6. The latest phone in our quest for the perfect balance of technology, speed, and design. At OnePlus, we take a holistic approach to design, striving for all elements to work in harmony. We are driven by our pursuit of speed and performance with the latest Qualcomm Snapdragon 845 processor. Combined with our refined operating system, we are pushing for a smooth user experience.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we ask that you please silence all electronic devices and find your seats. Our program is about to begin.
For physical design, we believe the future of phone materials should be dynamic, changing, personal. Taking inspiration from natural materials such as porcelain and jade, we developed new types of multi-layered 3D glass with glossy and smooth matte finishes that visually transform depending on the light around you. But in the end, the key ingredient of every new phone we make is you. That's why we test our prototypes.
Ladies and gentlemen, our program will begin shortly.
Learning and refining. We are passionate about pushing our boundaries in order to give you the speed you need.
All right. Morning. How's everybody doing? All right. Good. So good morning. Thanks for joining us today. First, I want to thank everybody that's watching online. I realize for some of the guys on the West Coast, it's still a bit early. For everybody here in person, for everybody who made the trip from the 5 boroughs or farther out on a cold, unseasonably cold May morning, thanks for coming. I'm glad to have you guys here. So I think for us at OnePlus today is this launch is different and special than some of the launches we've had before. And over the last week have been thinking about it a bit. And the reason it's special is have thought about a lot of the conversations that we've had with you guys, our users and community members over the years. And usually in those conversations, there's 2 topics we end up talking about. First one is always, you guys are always asking about the next device, right? And we'll get to that today, so I'm not too worried about that. But there's a second topic we always talk about that I think is more important and bigger and broader. And that's probably the subject about mission. And a mission, I think, for a lot of you, you've been with us on since the start. So behind me is kind of our internal mission statement. To share the best technology. And I think what's different about today is the word best. Because today what you're going to see, we believe, is truly the best, period. Okay? So as we thought since our last launch and as we ended 2018, we're proud of some things went well. Some people said 2018 was the year of OnePlus. I won't disagree with that. And we had some good success. Globally, we rose to become one of the top 5 global smartphone brands. Okay. And also, we saw similar success in the U.S. But I mean, I'll be honest with you guys. Top 5 is great, but we realize when you look up, what's at 1 and 2 is still pretty big. So we know we have some ways to go, but we're still proud of it. And last year, our success, I think, is due in no small part to our partnership with T-Mobile. And when we launched the 60, you were able to go to any T-Mobile store across the U.S. and see and experience a OnePlus device. And the reason that's really important is a lot of you guys realize until you have a chance to hold, experience, and feel a OnePlus device, you don't really get a chance to appreciate the quality. So that was really important, and we're really proud of our partnership. And we're really excited to be continuing our partnership, and we have some great news to share with you about our T-Mobile partnership today. So on behalf of the OnePlus team, I want to thank the T-Mobile team and also thank the T-Mobile team members that are here today because we could not have done it without you guys. So the response to the 6T, I think, spoke for itself, and also we believe it showed that our focused premium flagship-only approach has worked, and it's allowed us to be competitive in what is still probably one of the most competitive categories, not just in consumer electronics, but in any consumer category in the world. And so I think it's a good validation for us. In addition, for the team at OnePlus, some of you guys may know this, but actually last year during our last launch, we moved the team from San Francisco to here in New York. And we also opened an office in Seattle, and we've continued to kind of build up our organization and build up our capabilities. It's funny, some of you guys know this that have visited our New York office, but actually since we've moved, we've actually outgrown the office twice, and we're in the process right now of trying to find another office. So for any of you New York guys that are in commercial real estate, come find me afterwards, because I'm trying to find another office right now as we speak. But it's funny, to stay on the subject of offices, here's a photo that I wanted to put up here today because I think it has some meaning. So this is our CEO, Pete, and our headquarters on day 1. So this is over 5 years ago. And the reason I wanted to put this up was because back to the subject of mission, right? And a lot of you have been with us since pretty much the start, right? And again, today for us is about the mission. And what is important and special about today is what you're going to see today, it's not just the best smartphone we've made, but we believe it's the best smartphone you're going to see this year, okay? So without further ado, very excited and proud to show you guys the OnePlus 7 Pro. right, so I mean, we really think this product's the real deal, and there's been a tremendous amount of attention given to the care and precision that's gone into this, and we really believe this is a breakthrough device. And first off, starting with the design. What you're going to see today is a new design for us that's brand new, that's all new and tapered on both edges, both front and the back. And basically what that means is when you put your hand across it and you feel it, there's basically no edges. And it's really a true representation of the OnePlus design philosophy. When you break that philosophy down, it basically comes down to doing one thing: taking as much power and performance as you can and putting it in an ultra-slim device that looks great, feels great, and basically disappears in your hand. And probably the best thing about this is what's on the front. And we believe what you're seeing today is the best display that's ever been put forward in a smartphone. And over the years, we've continued to push our product approach to deliver a fast and smooth philosophy, which you guys are familiar with, which we talk about a lot. And we knew there would be a point where we'd have to apply that philosophy to the display to match that and be able to keep up with the performance and the speed that our devices were having. And this is something that we've been thinking about for a couple of years. And actually, back in 2017, we started the process and started working with one of the leading display manufacturers in the world to co-design a display that would be really new and basically hadn't been seen before in terms of our industry. And so for us, this type of step is a big deal because it requires a lot of R&D investment up front, a lot of time, a lot of investment. Okay? And there's probably some risk when you decide to put out a display that may cost 2 to 3 times as much as some of the other leading flagships. But I think you guys know us well enough to know there are probably 2 principles that we generally think about when we think about product. One is we're not necessarily going to do anything to be first or different for the pure sake of it. And you hear us say that a lot. The second thing is if we're going to introduce new technology, it has to deliver a superior user experience. And based on that, we weren't really worried about whether this is a risk or not because we knew it would be worth it. And today, what you guys will see is, we believe when you see it, you'll know it was worth it as well. So we're proud to show to you guys today what we think is the next breakthrough in display technology, what we're calling fluid AMOLED display. And really, when you think about it, when you think about what you do with your smartphone, the display is really at the core of that experience, essentially, right? It matters for everything. And so on this device, it's our largest display yet, 6.67 inches, and it has an incredible screen-to-body ratio of 93%, over 93% actually. But something that's important is we haven't really changed the overall footprint of the device in your hand. And we heard from a lot of you guys, most recently on the 6T, where you liked the size of that device and how it fit in your hand. And so we actually haven't increased the general overall size of the device. Something else, on the 6T, we were the first manufacturer to introduce an in-display fingerprint sensor in our screen unlock technology. And it's back on the 7 Pro, except this time it's more responsive and faster. It has a 38% larger fingerprint sensor, and it's 0.21 seconds to unlock. And so that'll be the fastest you'll find in the industry right now in terms of fastest unlock. Also, we've moved up on the screen. We've moved up to a quad HD 2K panel that's going to be incredibly sharp and clear. And so for those of you guys that are keeping track on specs, that's 516 pixels per inch. And what's important is the display, it's not just about it being clear. It's about everything else that happens in the experience. It also supports HDR10 and HDR10+. And we've actually worked with Netflix, YouTube, and Amazon Prime to develop HDR versions of their apps. So anything you watch on those platforms will be really engaging, vibrant, and will have unrivaled details. Speaking of details, and we talk about this a lot, the details matter for us. Something new we're adding on the 7 Pro is something we're calling the horizon light. And basically, for notifications, when your display is off, you'll see a trace of blue light go around the device. And so we think it's a great improvement in terms of how you see your notifications. Also, we've done a couple things in terms of the viewing experience. So one thing is our Fluid AMOLED display, it automatically filters out blue light. And also, we've improved night mode. So basically, the screen will adjust on 2 things, color temperature and also brightness, when you're in the dark, so it'll be easier on your eyes as well. So fluid AMOLED display we're really proud of it, and also important to note that we've also received the highest possible rating you can receive from DisplayMate, the world's leader in display technology, and we scored an A+, which is basically the highest you can get. But we didn't just receive a high overall score, we got the highest possible rating you can get in all the different measurements. So basically, for everybody, from a user experience standpoint, what that means is everything you're doing on the device, scrolling, tapping, gestures, everything's going to feel really, really true to life and natural. So there's one other important thing on fluid AMOLED display, and we used the word breakthrough before, right? That's the word. If I'm going to say that, I have to back it up, right? And you probably can get a feel for the fact that the display is pretty impressive, but there's one feature on AMOLED display that I want to take a little bit of time to talk about. That's up here and in the middle. So 90 hertz. Okay. So one of the philosophies you heard us mention before is fast and smooth. And so in terms of the theme of smoothness, this is extremely important. So a 90 hertz refresh rate basically means 90 times per second refresh. But what does that really mean, right? Basically, if you have to sum it up, what it means is every single motion that you're going to see, every tap gesture, everything is going to seem very, very real, responsive, and more direct. And it's something that when you actually use the device, you'll notice and is going to be very, very, very clear. So to start things off, what we did was we filmed a slow motion video between 90 hertz and 60 hertz just to give you a little bit of an idea of what that looks like. So we'll play that now. All right, so it's something you can actually see in video, okay? And when you get a chance to experience it, you'll really get a feel for it yourselves. In addition, the 7 Pro is the world's first device to have a 90 hertz Quad HD panel that's an AMOLED display. And so again, once you have a chance to experience this, we honestly believe it'll be very, very tough to go back to anything else. Okay? So we kick things off this morning by showing you kind of what's on the outside of the 7 Pro. We want to take a little bit of time to go kind of below the surface and tell you kind of what's the performance, the camera, and everything that's super important here. So I'd like to invite to the stage now the OnePlus 7 Pro's product manager, Zach Zhang, to talk to you a little bit more about this device.
Thanks, Kyle. Yes, there's indeed more under the surface. And starting with our front-facing camera. It's the best selfie camera we've ever made. And by the way, it's motorized. Beneath the display is a 16-megapixel front-facing camera. And when you need it, it slides out in just half a second. It looks really cool. But it also needs to be really durable. We know whenever there's moving parts, there's always concerns about durability. But look, it's durable. And watch this. Yes, we really tie a 49 pounds weight to our front camera. If it can survive that, it can certainly survive your pocket. We also designed our front camera to be reliable. and continuously tested over 300,000 times. That's like opening the selfie camera 150 times a day for 5 years straight. We actually shot a 12-hour-long video, now it's live on our YouTube channel. And it's just as fun as it sounds. You can watch the selfie camera open and close for 12 hours straight. And we would have made a video even longer had it not been for the YouTube's lens limit. You can rest assured that this camera is built to last. Our engineer thought about everything. The OnePlus 7 Pro even detects when the phone is in free fall and automatically retract the camera at even the slightest slip to protect it from the accidental drops. But the front-facing camera on the 7 Pro is not only durable, it also produced some incredible results thanks to that 16-megapixel sensor. And of course, you get to see your selfies on the best and most immersive display on the market. And when you turn over the OnePlus 7 Pro, you will notice that everything is all new. For the first time, we're introducing a brand new triple camera system. It's the most complete and capable camera we've ever delivered, taking you from ultra-wide to normal and to up close, all without losing image quality. You will see photos that are natural, engaging, and rich with details. To put it simply, we've built a camera for every moment. The main wide-angle camera has a state-of-the-art 48-megapixel half-inch sensor. The surface area of the sensor alone is over 29% larger than the previous devices. And each individual pixel is almost 72% larger, which means the camera on the OnePlus 7 Pro gathers greater amounts of light, resolution, and detail than ever before. And when you're working with a high-resolution sensor, you also need a lens that's advanced enough to resolve even the finest of details. Our engineer crafted a more advanced 7-element lens design, which offers increased performance over our previous 6-element design. Now, with this f-stop of 1.6, the 7P lens gathers more light than before. The new main lens also comes equipped with optical image stabilization, which allows users to take clearer low-light photos and more stable videos. Now, here are some shots taken with a main camera, and check it out. Whether it's wildlife, portraits, or landscapes, the results are simply incredible. Now, also new to the 7 Pro is a secondary telephoto lens with a 3-time optical zoom and OIS. With a fast f2.4 aperture lens and an 8-megapixel sensor, you can get closer to the detail that matter without compromising on overall image quality. In fact, you can get close without getting too close. And finally, we have a third ultra-wide-angle lens with a 117-degree field of view. It has an f2.2 aperture lens with autofocus that's paired to a 16-megapixel sensor. It's great for group photos and landscapes, or when you simply need to capture everything. With an ultra-wide angle, a standard lens, and a telephoto lens with 3-time zoom, you have 3 separate lenses in one seriously capable camera. It's an entire camera bag that fits in your pocket. Just check out how detailed the photo is. You can see each individual strand of the facial hair. Of course, you can just tap and change your perspective. And on the software side, we're introducing a powerful algorithm called UltraShot that works behind the scenes to bring you clearer photos. And UltraShot uses smart HDR algorithm to better preserve highlights and shadow details while producing a natural image that feels true to life. Scenes with high contrast and particularly tough lighting are handled with ease. UltraShot also deploys pixel binning technology, combining several adjacent pixels together to produce clearer photos with better low-light results. All of this happens with a single tap of the shutter. This is one seriously smart camera. But even though the camera on the OnePlus 7 Pro captures stunning amounts of resolution and detail, Now that matters if your shot is autofocus. So we have developed a new three-point autofocus system. It automatically switches between PDAF, CEF, and laser focusing method to help you capture the decisive moment. Like I said at the beginning, our new triple camera is the best camera we've ever made, but also one of the best cameras on any smartphone. We received an outstanding score from DxOMark, an independent leading authority when it comes to image quality. 111. We are proud of this achievement. In fact, it's the second highest score DxOMark has ever recorded, and just 1 point short of the first place. But there's always next time, right? But seriously, benchmark aside, at the end of the day, you're now shooting test charts. You are out there documenting your favorite moments with a camera that's always with you. And for that, I'm honored to bring National Geographic photographer Carlton Ward Jr. on stage. Carlton.
Thank you, Zach, and thank you all for being here this morning. My name's Carlton Ward Jr., and I'm a conservation photographer with National Geographic magazine. I'm also a native Floridian. Anybody else from Florida in the house today? All right, nice. So it's a pleasure to be here with you to share some of my exciting adventures with the OnePlus 7 Pro. Now, last month, I had a chance to spend a week on assignment going to a dozen locations showing off some of my favorite places in wild Florida. And I did this only with one compact, capable, and highly versatile camera that also happens to be a smartphone. Now I'm going to share some of those adventures with you as seen through the lens of the OnePlus 7 Pro, starting in the Dry Tortugas, 70 miles west of Key West, where the Gulf of Mexico and the Atlantic Ocean come together. I went there flying in a Cessna 172 airplane and was able to capture some incredible detail as seen from above. Using the Pro mode, I was able to maintain a purposefully high shutter speed to make sure there was no blur, even when I'm traveling at 100 miles an hour with the window open, slightly nervous about dropping this prototype camera down into the Atlantic. On my way back, I got to fly over another favorite place, and this is the 10,000 Islands National Wildlife Refuge on the edge of Everglades National Park. Making a vertical composition, I switched over to the 3x camera mode, which is really a cool feature, and it allowed me to compress the scene and create a different perspective that I wouldn't have been able to capture on other smartphones. Our next stop, well, actually still here in the Dry Tortugas, I also was able to capture some surprising low light pictures. This is using the f1.6 feature of the standard lens. And by also using Pro mode, I was able to keep the shutter speed high. I'm traveling fast, but still able to capture a beautiful low light picture, keeping the ISO relatively low. Coming back down to water level, I'd like to point out this picture is taking me into new territory with a smartphone, actually doing wildlife photography. Having that 78mm perspective from the 3x zoom lens is actually a game changer. I shot a lot of more detailed pictures and then ultimately decided to switch back to the 1x zoom lens because I was able to put this animal in its natural context. The HDR mode came on here and it actually helped me maintain detail in the bright face of the feathers as well as detail throughout the shadows. Staying along the Gulf Coast, our next stop is a place called Charlotte Harbor, where you have this beautiful mangrove-lined coastline, and it's a great place to get out and explore and push the capabilities. Here we have a situation where the full moon is rising behind this historic stilt house. And by getting a low camera angle, using again that 3x telephoto perspective, I was able to do a photograph where the moon is actually registering as a significant element on the horizon. As the sun started to fade, at least 1/2 hour after sunset, this is a handheld picture only under moonlight. Again, I used the Pro mode. I was able to specify my shutter speed and my aperture. I was hand-holding at 1/10 of a second. The optical stabilization kept things sharp, but importantly, the ISO was all the way down, under ISO 400, so you still have incredible detail on this handheld, low-light, moonlit photograph. Now we're taking a trip into Florida's interior. I love to show off places that people don't necessarily know about. In this area called La Belle, it was in the middle of its April citrus harvest. And here we had this great scene where we could look at the rich detail created by the standard lens all the way from the foreground to the background. But then I was able to kick the camera over into portrait mode and create a portrait that looks like it was shot on a full sensor DSLR mirrorless camera with a fast aperture telephoto lens. Quite incredible results. My adventure continued into the swamps near Naples, a place called Corkscrew Swamp, which has a tremendous amount of biological diversity. I was able to explore the minute details of some of the wildlife and plant life, including these brand new spring ferns coming into bloom. I used the 3x zoom feature again to get incredible magnification and isolate that subject from the background. Now, this next series is a chance I really had to test and push the camera's capabilities. I went to Hillsborough River State Park, which is an amazing place just north of Tampa. And my purpose here was to try to do some long exposure photographs. This is the scene as you would see it maybe with a typical camera phone. But by using the unique capabilities of the Pro mode, I was able to specify my shutter speed all the way down to 10 seconds. And so here we are capturing the feeling of this place in a way not otherwise possible for users of smartphones. I ultimately settled on a vertical composition, which I really thought fit the energy well from this scene. And I was truly blown away by the level of detail that you're able to see when you zoom into the rocks and into the vegetation. I finished my journey down closer to Miami. I got to go out and explore Biscayne Bay. And as the sun started to set and as we motored the boat back towards downtown Miami, I was able to capture this image where we're juxtaposing the historic stilt house against the new and fresh burgeoning skyline of downtown Miami. Again, we're using a 3x zoom mode on this picture, and using the 2x zoom available on other smartphones, you would hardly see that Miami skyline in the picture. So really opening up a new set of creative tools here. After the sun had set, I worked a little bit more testing the low light capabilities and was able to capture the beauty of this scene with the lighthouse, and then a little bit further up the coast to do another long exposure where I could capture the feeling of the Atlantic Ocean washing over this limestone reef. So this was a crazy adventure for me, and I'm truly impressed by the results. As a professional photographer, my top goal in a camera is to empower me to capture natural moments as artfully as possible without slowing me down. I was truly surprised how well the OnePlus 7 Pro integrated into my creative process. Before I went on this trip, I expected I was going to miss my professional cameras more than I did. But the OnePlus 7 Pro allowed me to translate my vision into lasting photographs with a level of quality and detail that truly amazed me. I hope that you are inspired by the beauty of nature and the level of photography that is possible with the OnePlus 7 Pro. Thank you.
Thanks, Carlton. Those are some spectacular photos. Great work. Overall, the camera on the OnePlus 7 Pro is our most advanced and capable camera yet. One that delivers outstanding image quality at every focal length. We can't wait to see the photos you would take with this camera. And now, let's move on to performance. Was there ever any doubt? The OnePlus 7 Pro is built on the latest Qualcomm Snapdragon 855 mobile platform. It has an octa-core Cryo CPU processor running on the new 7nm chipset. Overall, it's 45% faster and consumes 20% less power than the previous generation CPU. An Adreno 640 GPU offers a 20% increase in performance over the last gen GPU, while also managing to be 30% more power efficient. Our partnership with Qualcomm allows us to provide our users with the fastest and most powerful flagship experience on the planet. And when it comes to RAM, you can now equip the 7 Pro with up to 12 gigabytes of RAM. This means you can run more apps simultaneously without experiencing lag, stuttering, or reduced performance. And to put that RAM to use, we have also developed a feature called RAM Boost, which configures the available RAM on your smartphone to preload your most frequently used apps and games. Now, this means you will spend far less time looking at the loading screens and far more time with your favorite apps and games. So, not only we are offering more RAM, but that RAM is now smarter and works in the background to ensure the apps and games launch more seamlessly. In fact, you can run up to 64 apps simultaneously with RAM Boost, far more than other flagship smartphones. The OnePlus 7 Pro is also the first mainstream smartphone to use the latest UFS 3.0 technology, which brings up to 79% faster sequential read and write speeds as UFS 2.1. You compare the 7 Pro with up to 256 gigabytes of ultra-fast UFS 3.0 storage for the better multitasking experience with fewer interruptions or drop frames when you're using that big 90 Hz display. But what does it mean in practice? It means games like PUBG Mobile installs on the 7 Pro in just 6 seconds, while the same task takes over 30 seconds to complete on competing Android flagships. That's the power of UFS 3.0 and the software optimization. To maximize performance and keep things running smoothly, we even redesigned the cooling system on the OnePlus 7 Pro. The new liquid cooling system allows for better thermal management during extended gaming sessions. It's a feature commonly found on gaming phones that we're bringing to the OnePlus 7 Pro. And on the power front, everything runs on our largest ever 4,000 milliamp per hour battery. This is an all-day device with a battery that keeps you away from the outlet. But when you do need to top up, Warp Charge is there. Only this time, it's even faster than before. Charging speed up 38% compared to our previous devices. In fact, you only need to charge for 20 minutes to get to around 50%. Now, that's fast enough to change your charging habits. Now, you can just charge in the morning, and when you're ready to head out the door, so is the OnePlus 7 Pro. Or you can charge on the go with our new Warp Charge car charger. And when it comes to charging while gaming, Warp Charge has you covered as well. Whether you're playing Candy Crush or PUBG, you can plug in and keep playing. It only takes around half an hour to get to 50%. Performance-wise, it's everything you've come to expect from OnePlus. A powerful set of features that contribute to a core flagship experience. But how do you move beyond that? How do you turn a core flagship experience into something that's more than the sum of its parts? The answer lies in the details. Now, the next thing I'm going to talk about is something people has always asked for. Dual speakers are coming to the OnePlus 7 Pro. And check it out. And of course, we didn't just boost the signal to the receiver and leave it at that. This isn't a speaker and receiver combo we're calling a dual speaker system. This is a true dual speaker system that sounds powerful and balanced. It plays louder as well, with 90% less distortion than our previous devices, and offers real stereo separation. We even joined forces with Dolby Laboratories to bring you Dolby Atmos sound so you can enjoy. So you can enjoy the lifelike, three-dimensional sound quality straight from your phone. With a wider soundstage that feels more engaging and immersive. It's perfect for music lovers, cinephiles, and gamers alike. The 7 Pro also has a new feature called haptic vibration. It's an industry-leading horizontal vibration motor that activates when you receive calls, text, and notifications. We increase the size of the motor so that it can deliver a stronger and more precise response. It doesn't feel like a typing on glass. It feels like you are actually pressing down on each individual key. The OnePlus 7 Pro is not only the most powerful flagship we've ever created, but it's also the most refined and with useful features designed to enhance every part of your smartphone experience. It's a true do-everything device that just happens to run our most beloved Android operating system, and that's Oxygen OS. And what can we say? Oxygen OS is the best Android operating system around, even surpassing stock Android. At OnePlus, we're focused our efforts on building software that makes sense. That means software that maximizes performance and stability while minimizing power consumption. It means software that doesn't contain duplicate apps or unnecessary bloatware. We don't want to build apps that compete with third-party developers. There's already a whole library of apps you know and love. With Oxygen OS, we want to provide you with an essential software experience that focuses on the most important things, like a user interface that's intuitive and simple to use, or reduce the loading times for your favorite apps. And we're committed to bring the latest feature and updates to Oxygen OS. In fact, we're among the first to bring Android Pie to the OnePlus 6 and 6T. And we're continuing to support our devices with the 2 years of regular software updates, as well as 3 years of Android security patch updates. For Oxygen OS 9.5, we're introducing long-requested features like screen recording and providing an updated suite of apps that take full advantage of our new 90 Hz display. We're also refining our navigational gestures to be faster, smoother, and more intuitive. Our new screen recorder feature allows users to take full screen recording without any software overlays. You can adjust the video resolution and even choose the audio input. User can toggle between the microphone audio or direct the internal audio from the 7 Pro. And we also brought Fnatic, one of the best esports organizations in the world, in to help us build an even stricter version of gaming mode that smartly allocates resources to supercharge performance while eliminating distractions. Now, this next feature is something we developed to help users build healthier smartphone habits. And we're calling it Zen Mode. To enable Zen Mode, just open the app, and for the next 20 minutes, you will only be able to do 3 things: receive phone calls, make emergency calls, and use the camera function. We have always believed that technology should serve you, not the other way around. Zen Mode gives users a simple but powerful way to disengage from their smartphone. Oxygen OS continues to deliver the best software experience on Android smartphones. It's smartly designed software that's capable of fully leveraging the state-of-the-art hardware on the OnePlus 7 Pro. And now, let me invite Kyle back on stage to tell you more about our latest device.
Thanks, Zach. All right, we've been saying it all day. This is our most complete and compelling smartphone with the smoothest and most immersive display you're going to see. And we can't wait for you guys to try it. So, to sum things up, let's play a short video just to show you what are the best things about the OnePlus 7 Pro.
What does it take to be truly innovative? It all starts before you wake. Introducing the OnePlus 7 Pro. We set out to create a fully captivating experience with powerful Dolby Atmos sound from top to bottom and an immersive display that redefines the term bezel-less on mobile devices. Couple that with a 90 Hz refresh rate and you can scroll smoothly through your favorite apps. or play the most intense mobile games available with no compromises. That's because we put more computing power into this device than ever before. Now you can move seamlessly between apps with software that anticipates your next move. Our adaptive brightness feature gives your eyes the least strenuous experience possible. No matter the shot or scene, the OnePlus 7 Pro is up to the task. That's because we've added 3 rear camera lenses to make sure you're capable of catching every moment. And of course, we didn't forget the selfie camera. Power through your day and night worry-free, because with Warp Charge, you're good to go in 20 minutes. That means your phone is ready before you are. And the camera capabilities don't diminish when the sun goes down. Thanks to our Nightscape feature, you'll be able to take gorgeous photographs no matter the time of day. That's the OnePlus 7 Pro, our most advanced phone ever.
All right, so let's I know you guys are impatient, so let's get to some of the details you guys care the most about. The OnePlus 7 Pro will come in 3 finishes: Nebula Blue, Mirror Gray, and coming in a month in June, Almond. One thing we didn't talk about was accessories, and you guys know we put the same care and attention to detail into the accessories we do into our flagship smartphones. Rest assured, a new lineup of cases and screen protectors are built for the 7 Pro, and also popular accessories such as the Warp Car Charger and Warp Chargers will be available online as well. Now last, one product we also want to talk to you guys about today that's new. And it's an update to one of our most popular products we've had before. And one of the products that's been so popular, we've actually, to be honest, had trouble keeping up with the demand. And so you guys are probably guessing it's Bullets Wireless. Okay? But at OnePlus, despite the fact that Bullets Wireless have been very, very, very well received, it's about never settle, right? So we're proud to announce today an update and to be launching our Bullets Wireless 2. Okay? So these are all new, and they're new because our engineers went back to the drawing board and broke down and did a total redesign on the product and turned something that was already great into something that's really, truly special. Most earphones on the market have standard dynamic drivers, which are good for bass, right? They can deliver good bass, but when it comes to some of the detail on highs and mids, sometimes the clarity's lacking. So on Bullets Wireless 2, they have a balanced triple armature drivers. They're going to deliver extraordinary amount of detail and clarity from a sound standpoint. It means the lows are going to be really satisfying because one of the drivers is dedicated solely to delivering bass, and the other 2 are going to deliver precise highs and mids, so the clarity in the vocals is going to come through really, really, really clear. So everything on these is going to sound great, whether it's your music, favorite podcast, videos, or just using them for voice calls. And one thing we didn't mention that was really popular about Bullets Wireless 1 is charging. So warp charging has been applied to these, and what it means is you'll get, in a 10-minute charge, 10 hours of music playback. So 10-minute charge, 10 hours of playback. And on a full charge, 14 hours of music overall. So in addition, Bullets Wireless 2 come with a host of other smart features that will help user experience and maximize quality of sound. So we're really excited about these, and we're excited for you guys to check them out. And they're really a true flagship audio experience. But most importantly, which you're probably curious about, is price, right, for Bullets Wireless 2. So excited to announce that Bullets Wireless 2 will be retailing for $99. So, and rest assured, these will outperform similar earphones that probably cost three plus times as much. So Bullets Wireless 2 and the OnePlus 7 Pro are really products that we don't think you'll see out there anywhere else, and they're really what is the best OnePlus has to offer. So coming to the end here. Here's the spec sheet for the OnePlus 7 Pro. So the last thing we didn't get to was, I always count on you guys. All right, so I'll be transparent. What do you guys think this should cost? All right, I heard between $750 and $1,000 around the room, right? No? Who said? All right. So the OnePlus 7 Pro will start at retail price of $669. All right. And again, this is the best smartphone you're going to see in 2019, okay? It'll come in 3 other variants. Okay? All right, so visit oneplus.com for Canadian prices. One thing that's also new, okay, is we're also launching a trade-in program this year for the first time. So you can trade in any eligible device and apply that value to the price to a OnePlus 7 Pro. Okay, all major brands are included, of course, including OnePlus, and all OnePlus devices are included all the way back to the OnePlus One. Okay. In addition, we talked about display today, and we'd hate for it to happen, but if something were to happen to your screen, we've got you covered. For anybody that gets a device between starting now and until the end of May, you can save up to 50% on our 6-month screen protection plan. So visit oneplus.com to learn more about our trade-in program and our screen protection program. All right, most importantly, okay, the information you really need to know. The OnePlus 7 Pro will go on sale this Friday, the 17th, at T-Mobile stores across the United States and T-Mobile.com. Also important to note, T-Mobile will be offering a special 0 down, 0% financing, which is the only place you can get it. So a really great special launch offer. In addition, of course, you can also get it at oneplus.com this Friday at 10 a.m. as well for everybody across the U.S. And Canada as well. Okay? And also Bullets Wireless will be available on Friday as well. So a lot of you guys here today, though, I think may not want to wait till Friday. Okay? So for those of you guys in New York, you guys are in a special situation because this afternoon you can join us over the T-Mobile Signature Store, just over in Midtown, about a 15-minute walk, and you can be you will be the first people in the world to get your hands on the OnePlus 7 Pro. Okay? In addition, tomorrow, for those of you not in New York, across the rest of the U.S., at the 5 other T-Mobile Signature stores, you'll also get a chance tomorrow to be the first people to get your hands on the OnePlus 7 Pro. So go online to learn more information about that. Okay? So that's it for the OnePlus 7 Pro. I'd like to thank everybody for joining online and also thank everybody for joining here in person. And for those of you guys in person, you guys have been patient, and I know you're ready to get to it. So behind me is the Experience Center. We'll raise the curtains, and you guys can go check it out for yourself. So thanks for your time today, and remember, never settle. Thanks, guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, we invite you to make your way to the demo areas at this time to experience the OnePlus 7 Pro for yourself. Thank you.